Hi, my name is Ivana with the Fort Bend County Libraries at Stafford location. Today I'm going to show you how to make these cute little bird feeders and suet cakes. February is National Bird Feeding Month. February is considered midwinter and birds have trouble foraging for their own food. So we're going to help them out by making some cute little feeders for them and some suet cakes to go in the feeders so they can survive the winter. Okay, so these are the supplies you're going to need for your bird feeder. You're going to need an empty juice carton. It could be anything that maybe contained milk, juice, something that probably doesn't have like a filmy texture to it. It's kind of hard to paint on the filmy texture, but if you want to use one that's kind of got that like shiny film on it, then you can rough it up with a little bit of sandpaper and then paint it. But you're going to need a juice box. Of course, something to put your paint on because you're going to want to paint it and decorate it with your own. I just use acrylic paints. Of course, paint brushes of all sizes. You're going to need an X-Acto knife or a box cutter, a pen, scissors, a ruler, and of course something to hang your feeder with. So I'm just using your everyday package string. You can use yarn, you can use whatever you have on hand. And of course, birdseed to fill your bird feeder once you're done. Okay, so you're going to take your juice box and you're going to outline on each side where you're going to cut it out so your birds can fly in and get to the bird seed. Okay, we're just going to take your ruler, of course, and your pen, and we're just going to mark those. You leave enough to where you can put some bird seed on the bottom without it falling out. So I'm just going to put a little mark here. I'm going to go up on the sides just to make us an opening big enough for the birds to be able to fly in and get the bird seed. And that's what we're going to cut with the X-Acto knife. Okay, so you're going to do that on all of the sides of your juice box. Okay, so I've stenciled where I'm going to cut out on each side of my juice box. Okay, once that's all done, you're going to start on the front side and you're going to use your X-Acto knife. Now, if kids are going to be doing this project, we need to make sure that adults our guardian are the ones that are going to be cutting it out because the X-Acto knife is not exactly safe for kids. So, and also adults, you need to be careful too because especially if you're using box cutters or something that's pretty sharp, then you need to just make sure that you use some safety and go slow. So we're going to start doing that. What I usually do is just start at one of the corners here and then just punch in with my X-Acto knife like that and then just kind of saw back and forth until I cut it all out. It doesn't have to be exact. That's kind of why we put our little lines here, just to give us a guide. But you know, it doesn't have to be exact. The birds don't care. They're just worried about the food. So you're just going to cut out each side like this. Okay, so I've already got two sides. Once they're all cut out, we're going to cut out all of the sides of your carton so they'll be all open. Okay, so once you've cut out all of the sides with your X-Acto knife, we're going to put a hole in the top, and that's where we're going to hang our ribbon. Right now, I just put a little hole punch with the X-Acto knife, and then I'm going to come back with my scissors and make a bigger hole so I can get my string through there. So I just usually go around a little bit with my scissors to make a bigger hole. Okay, once that's done, then you can cut your string to however size you want. It depends on how tall your tree is and how far you want your bird feeder to hang down. But you're just going to thread that in through the hole. And sometimes it's better to just go in through the bottom of the hole instead of through the top. Okay, once that's threaded, and then you can go back through, and then that's when you're going to put your knot. We're just going to go back through our hole. Like that. Okay. And of course, we're going to tie our knot here at the bottom. Or, you know, if you want, you can do it the opposite way where you go up through and then you tie your knot at the top. I'm just going to tie my knot here at the bottom. Okay, and then there we go. We have our hanger to hang our bird feeder. Do you see that? Okay. And then after that's all done, then you can just sit there and you can paint it. You can make a princess bird feeder. You can make it a superhero bird feeder. All I have is the pastels, which are more like for princess bird feeders. Or you can just put any kind of design you want. So once it's all decorated, you're ready to just hang it and put your bird seed in. I'm just going to add some bird seed down here at the bottom. Like that. There we go. Do you see it right there where the birds could fly in? All right, now that we made our bird feeder for our birds, we're going to make something that's called Suet Cakes or Suet Cookies. What you're going to need for that is a muffin tin, something to stir your mixture in, and a spoon. You're going to need a half a cup of peanut butter, 2 cups of bird seed, and then 1/3 of a cup of vegetable shortening or bacon grease. Okay, first of all, we're going to start with mixing our bird seed and our bacon grease or our vegetable shortening first. So I'm going to pour the bird seed in here. And then we're going to take, and that's going to be 1/3 of a cup, which is 5 tablespoons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cut that up and stick that in our bird seed. There we go. Okay. What did I do? Oh, my spoon. That's what I needed. Okay, it's going to be a little messy first. I'm trying to get this all mixed up. So once we've got our vegetable shortening, our bacon grease, all mixed up with our bird seed, then we're going to add our peanut butter. Okay, some peanut butter's in there, then we're going to mix that all around. It's going to take a while to mix that. It's going to be clumpy at first, but just keep working with it. Once our peanut butter and our vegetable shortening or our bacon grease is all mixed in this, we're going to put it in the refrigerator for 30 minutes to harden up some. Okay, so once our mixture has set up in the fridge for about 30 minutes, it gets a little harder and easier to use. We're just going to put those in our muffin tins like this. I think this makes enough for the whole thing of muffins. Okay, so once our whole muffin tin is filled up, then we're going to put it in the freezer for 2 hours. So once we filled up our tin full of all the bird seed mixture, then we're going to put it in the freezer for 2 hours. Once they're done, you just take them out and you'll be able to pop them out, and they'll be like little biscuits or suet cakes or little cookies. And those can be put in your bird feeders, or you can, before you put them in the freezer, punch a hole in them or put a hole in with a straw so you'll have a little place where you can hang a string and you can hang them in your trees. I hope you enjoyed this program with the Fort Bend County Libraries. It was good to see you. I hope you join us for our next programs.